This podcast is brought to you by Infinite Resources, a local staffing agency connecting diverse job candidates in central Iowa companies.
Amplified.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kenny Lilly, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of Do the Math 24/7's Math Talk. We have special guests today. We actually have 4 guests today, and we're going to definitely talk about some awesome things that's been happening throughout the school year. But before we go into our conversation with these 4 wonderful people, I want to first break down my company, Do the Math 24/7. Do the Math 24/7 is a company with a positive message on unity, acceptance, and equality. We have several different ways in which we spread our positive message. We have a school fundraising program. We have a character building program, after school anti-bully program. We have an apparel line.
All right.
We have action figures. I do public speaking, and we also have this podcast. Now, let me briefly break down Do the Math 24/7. So it's broken down into 5 basic math symbols. So for add self-respect, add unity. For subtract bullying, subtract injustice. For multiply peace, multiply understanding. For divide, even though there's a division sometimes, we're stronger when we work together as one. Indivisible. Equal stands for equality. You guys know what equality means, right?
Yes.
Okay, and 24/7 stands for all the time. So there you go, Do the Math 24/7. Thank you again for tuning in. So, how you guys doing today?
Good. I'm good.
Good. Okay, so what we going to do first, we're going to just go around, and I want everyone to introduce themselves. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's
okay.
Good.
My name's Rihanna. I'm in 6th grade and I'm 12 years old.
My name is Natsuno, but I go by Natsu, and I'm in 7th grade.
My name is Levins, and I'm in 7th grade, and I'm 13 years old.
Okay.
And my name is Miss Carter, and I'm a reading interventionist, a special education teacher at Hiatt Middle School. This is my 8th year teaching.
Yes. So thank you guys again for joining us. This is actually the first time all the podcast has been doing a podcast with all students, and we're just students with teacher as well. So let's clap it up, because this is the first time, you guys. Come on, we making history today.
It's actually my second time back.
So
it's good to be back in the seat.
Yes, and I'm glad you mentioned that. So I'm first going to talk with you, Kelly. So initially, just so you guys know, Kelly came on our podcast probably right before the school year started. And then we discussed.
No, it was at the end. It was at the end of the school year.
The end of the school year,
in the summer, because it was hot outside.
Okay.
Yeah, but can I say that these people here gave me flack because I did not tell them that I was on your podcast?
Oh,
so they found it out on TikTok, and then they started harassing me. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You guys saw it on TikTok?
Yes.
Okay. So TikTok work?
Yes.
It does work. Okay.
Yeah. So, but anyway, keep going.
No. So you came on, and then you discussed as far as what you do and your passion, which is reading intervention.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as different strategies that you use in the classroom, and different things that that work, your passion for just reading in general and making sure that students, just have fun with reading. Reading doesn't necessarily have to be difficult.
Right.
Oftentimes we speak that reading's difficult, and, we got to not speak that way. Sometimes we got to just be positive and really believe that, reading is fun. Reading it is easy, and sometimes that does help. So just by your strategies in your classroom, and of course your positive demeanor and what you share in your class, these are things that have definitely helped the students just kind of, understand reading more, just having more fun with it.
Yes.
So the first question is, how was the school year?
The school year was fire.
Okay.
The whole entire school year. We got into some new reading strategies this year.
Okay.
And I think that the kids enjoyed it. They'll talk to you about it.
Yes.
One strategy was actually a cell phone setup that had different texting symbols that annotated to the reading.
Okay.
So, for instance, heart emoji would equal they loved what they read.
Okay,
or
is that
LOL
true? Okay.
equaled this part of the passage was funny. Or OMG, I'm shocked. So we got into that, and then I introduced the unwrap method.
Mm-hmm.
And so that really breaks down reading through annotation in like 7 different steps. So on top of that, we got into a little kindness.
Yes.
We created a confetti board based on Do the Math, and we'll talk about it later.
Right.
But we had an excellent year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's going on with you guys? Okay. So tomorrow is what? What's
the
tomorrow?
last day of school.
Last day of school. How does that feel?
Good.
Yeah?
The year just started and it's already about to
Come
begin.
on, that's good, right? Okay.
Next thing you know, we're in high school.
There you go. I like that. Okay. So that means you mentally preparing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What about you guys? How you guys feel knowing that tomorrow's the last day of school?
Like, on the journey,
Yeah.
like, throughout this whole year, like, I made so much friends and everything.
Wow. Okay.
Like, in 6th grade, I met him, and, like, we won't really talk, but, like, when I met him, like when we reunited in 7th grade, like,
Yeah.
we would have, like, so much fun and
Okay.
stuff. It would be great.
Yeah. Okay. And Rihanna?
Well, for me, I'm moving to a different school all the way in Walking. I think it's like Timberline.
Okay,
and
yeah.
I have to rebuild my friends, so I'm kind of sad, and I can't see Miss Carter.
Oh, you can see me. We
you
can keep
see
in touch
her.
on TikTok. We
Right.
can snap. You're going to see me. Yeah.
Right. Yes.
But I understand how you feel.
Yeah. And before I forget, I want to first of all, I want to thank you, the parents and the guardians, for allowing you guys to be on this show. So Kelly's been talking with you guys throughout the school year as far as your progress and whatnot, and I'm glad that your parents and guardians allowed you guys to be on this show, because the thing is, I want to make sure that the community knows what you guys are doing, because you guys are so awesome. Every time I come into class, you guys are always raising your hand. You know, you guys are always being active and whatnot, and I appreciate that. So we're going to talk about Do the Math later, but let's first talk about which kind of Kelly discussed, reading. Okay, so my first question to you guys, and you can just go in a row. What is something that you've learned this year as far as reading?
Like, when I first started reading, like, I would skip lines, but Miss Carter really helped me a lot because, like, now I take my time to read and not skip a lot of lines and mistaken words or misspell it.
Okay, so you're taking your time too,
Yeah.
right? You know?
I don't, like, read it fast and skip other lines.
Right. You know, and that's funny you mention that, because a lot of times, even with our phones, things are so fast, right?
Yeah.
Everything is so fast, but when it comes to reading, you can't necessarily go that fast because you go skip over some valuable information, right? So by you dialing back and taking your time, you understand stuff more, right?
Yes.
Being a little patient, just reading slower,
Yeah.
right? Okay, what about you? What have you learned so far, or this school year, as far as reading?
Like, the same thing Levin said, like, in my mind, I will always, like, have a competition with Miss Carter. Like, Miss Carter, like, she will, like, read, like, slowly and smooth, and then she will always, like, be the first one, like, to finish, like, compared to all the students.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll be like, how does she do it so fast? Like, well, I'm, like, trying to, like read so fast, I'll be, like, stuttering, and, like, sometimes I'll, like, read it so fast, like, I will have to go back to I'll have to redo that line.
Mm-hmm.
He's talking about fluency passages.
Fluency passages. Okay. Good. What about you, Rihanna?
So I used to skip words too, and Miss Carter helped me like read to the speed that I can, and she actually wants me like to read better. Like, she wants us. She tells us that. Some of these other teachers, they don't care.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, so you guys understand reading is important, right? And you know, once you get to high school, you're going to have to read more, right? And once you get to high school, there's going to be less supervision too, right?
Yeah.
So it's important for you guys to build those skills now, right? So you can be locked in and ready to go once high school starts, right? So you guys can be ready to go. So that's important, you know, that you guys constantly doing that. So let me ask you this. Okay, so tomorrow's last day of school. You guys ready to go? How are you going to challenge yourself this summer as far as reading?
I'm going to, like, try to read more books to improve my reading skills and to
Okay.
get better for next year.
Okay. Any particular books or subjects that interest you?
Not yet. I haven't picked one. I have to
Okay.
go to the library this summer.
Okay. Yeah. What about you?
Same thing as Levin's. Like, during the summer, like, me and my family will have like barbecue. Like, we'll go outside and have a barbecue, or like we'll go over to like people's houses
Mm-hmm.
and like have a party. And like by like near people's houses, there's like a lot of libraries. By my house, there's a library, Forest Library.
Yeah.
Near there, like, me and my cousin, he goes to a private school and they give him homework. So like, I'll go over there and like help him do his homework, and like while we're there, like we'll just grab some little books and like read like cartoon books or something.
Okay.
And we'll check out and we'll like read them all.
Right. Okay.
So
Summertime.
I like being on the internet. So
Hey.
like instead of like skipping over the words like of stories, I'm actually gonna like try to read it all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good. That's good. You know, just to make sure it's a refresher over the summer, right? One thing I was in Kelly's class last Friday, and that's one thing I mentioned to the students is let's take no summers off for the summer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's focus on or just refreshing ourselves as far as reading and character building. But
Yes.
Ms. Carter, let me ask you this.
Okay.
So, what is some advice that you can give parents? You can talk with, you know, or you can talk with me. Look at me. As far as advice you would give parents over the summer for their kids.
Again, there's something that's called the summer slide, and that's when kids' reading levels actually slide downward because they're not reading in the summer. So it's just as easy as going to the library. You don't even have to go to the library now. You can actually get a library card, and it's all digital where you can check books out online, and kids can read books and even listen to books. Even getting your kids writing letters to like relatives and families out of town, and when they receive the mail back, getting them read the letters, picking up like even newspapers. It could be the cartoon section. It could be like an ad for like Target or Walmart, and just have them go through and circle things that they like or will want, but then have them read through it together, you and the child together. A lot of kids like anime. If you get anime, you have to read subtitles sometimes. Like, it's so easy. If you're taking kids on a walk through the neighborhood, read the signs, read the street signs, read signs on buildings. Like, it's just so easy to get kids reading. Yeah.
No, that's good advice. You know, thank you for that. So my next question is, you mentioned letters. You guys
Yes.
wrote some letters.
Yes.
So can you guys explain what was that project as far as the writing of letters?
It was writing letters, like being kind to people, writing letters to teachers, students, and even students that would get picked on like during classes. And all that stuff. And I was actually competing with the student who would write the most letters.
Really? You was
Yeah.
competing to write positive letters.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Marceline won. I'm sorry. She beat you out. A sixth grader beat
It's
you out.
okay.
But you
It's
guys
okay.
did good, though. You did
Yeah.
good.
How many letters did you write?
I cannot
I
count.
think you
It
did
was a
like
lot.
32 letters.
32 letters.
Yes.
Wow. So how
Marceline
many
did
letters
40.
total? I'm sorry.
Total, we wrote 1,000 letters.
1,000 letters.
Yes.
Positive letters.
Yeah, so
wow.
like every day I would put names up on the board for like teachers. They would write to the kitchen staff, to
Really?
Nurse Jamie, to all the principals, to their friends, their favorite teachers they didn't like so much. I even had them write to, I said, imagine, well, in your classroom, who is the one person that nobody talks to?
Yes.
The person
right.
that's always picked on. I want you to write to that person today. So they did that. And so we ended up having about 550 letters from them. And then I wrote a letter to everybody in the
Okay.
building
Okay.
to bring it up to our 1,000 count. So the kindness campaign was actually a stem from your program.
Yes.
And so I've decided that I'm going to make it an annual thing, because not only did we do the kindness campaign, but we talked about kindness. We did the math. There was articles that we read about kindness and what other people were doing in the world. So I'm going to make this an annual thing, but have it during National Kindness Month, which is in November. But yeah, I just felt an urge, like, to be kind.
Yeah.
Like, it costs nothing to be kind, and I wanted everybody to feel great about it. So I had a big mural outside my wall promoting it. I made some photo ops, and the teachers got into it and took a lot of
I've
pictures.
seen
You
the
seen it?
photos.
Yeah, so it was
Yeah.
really dope. And so I'm so proud of it. It just
Yeah.
made me feel good. But the students start getting amped
Yeah.
up as they could see.
Yeah. And I was going to ask you guys. So let's say, Rihanna, how does it feel when you are writing those letters?
Well, like to the teachers and the people that get picked on, it actually felt kind of great because they like are usually quiet in the back of the class and not saying nothing, and people are just rude.
Yeah. Atu?
Like today, my teacher, like, she came up to me like, that letter you told me that you wrote about, like, that how much you appreciate me, when it's gonna come? I was like, I don't know. You gotta talk to Miss Carter. And they're like, oh, I'm finna get that letter. I want to see what you gonna write about. And then it just like made me like feel so good because like just like one little letter, just one little tiny letter, it brightened up her whole day.
Yeah.
And like everything would just feel so nice for her.
Yeah. That's kindness, right?
Yeah.
She was anticipating. She's waiting for that letter.
She's getting them tomorrow.
And she's
I have
getting
them
them
all.
tomorrow.
Yeah, I just sorted them right before I came here.
Okay.
So they get their delivery.
Okay.
They get the delivery tomorrow. Yeah.
I'm about to shed a few tears up here, man. You about to have me crying up here. But
Yeah.
that's awesome, right? And so how did that feel? It made you feel good, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Levins?
I already said earlier, it felt good writing letters to people that would stand in the back of the class and not say nothing.
Yeah.
And just get picked on by other students. Sometimes it's just not fun.
It's just not fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I just I just think of me being in that person's place.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome.
And that's what I wanted them to learn and see, that it just one little letter. I told them just one little letter can change somebody's whole entire day. Yeah.
So how has, let's say, several different projects you guys work with within the Carter community, Miss Carter's class, how has that affected you guys and you think maybe even the school in some ways?
That's a great question.
Go ahead, Rihanna.
So, like, during February, we, like, made posters about, like, black people and what they did. Well, I told my friends about, I forgot who I did. I'll remember the name later, but I told them about this person, and then they, like, there's a lot of racist people, like, in that school that will just call you the N-word, whatever your race is, just to be disrespectful. And I told my friends about my poster, and then they started telling other people, and kind of made the school less, like, racist.
Wow. Yeah. That's awesome.
Just to add on to that, like, a lot of people, like, just because, like, the color of your skin, they'll, like, call you a monkey or anything, just because, like,
wow,
like the color of a monkey and the color of you.
Yeah.
And, like, it would just, like, go on a daily basis. Like, instead of just saying, like, hi, Levins, like, they would come up to him and say, hi, monkey. And it would, like,
People just be trying to make, like, your day miserable. Like, you would just come in a peaceful day, trying to have a good day, and they would just, like, try to ruin your day completely by being racist to you and disrespectful.
How was that? But how is our community?
yeah, it was, like,
How is it in our community?
Our
when,
community,
you know, when you, like, the Black Lives Matter? Yeah, the Black Lives Matter thingy that you put up, the posters and everything. Like, everybody would just walk by and then they would just, like, read those tiny notes that we'll put up. And it was, like, after that, like, everybody, like, it would happen once in a while, but not even that much, like, compared to what she did before that.
Right. So it changed. It helped.
She did a big,
Yeah.
like, impact on that.
Yeah. So hopefully that's something that Kelly and I are kind of working on, that it can spread to different classrooms. I've spoke to at least 2 different teachers that have an interest. So hopefully it just kind of spreads some kind of way, that it spreads. So real quickly, let's talk about the confetti board. You guys know the confetti board, right?
Yes.
So, just a little background on that. Kelly, we were just kind of conversating, and she was like, hey, I had this idea. Let me call you. So I'm like, okay, what's up, So she's telling me this whole idea, and I'm just like, I like it, just how it can start for something. And she wanted to see how it can actually, how far it can grow, how much it can grow, as well as, how it can really, change a classroom. So, from that screen, from that board to first be blackboard blank
Yes.
to where layers of stickers, that's awesome. Today was a video that Kelly posted as far as you guys taking the stickers, of some of the students taking the stickers off the confetti board. So my question is, and that correlates with my company, Do the Math 24/7. What was a highlight as far as even doing that confetti board, writing different positive things? Anything that stood out as far as when you guys would do? Because you guys doing it throughout the school year, right? It grew and grew and grew. So what stood out as far as being part of that project? Anyone?
Like, at first, like, it will be, like, talking about, like, bullying, cyberbullying, any type of bullying, just in general. And, like, it would really like, you would just like, Miss Carter, she would give you a sticky note. You would write down like 2 to 4 sentences, and then after that you just have to put it on the wall, and then like you can either like read other people's, or you can just go back and sit down and play with your friends or any.
Okay.
So when you read other people's, did you read other people's?
Yeah.
So how did you feel about that?
It was like people was like, they started to care about like the person you really were. Like they started to really care about what you can, like what you're capable of doing.
Okay.
Yeah, because a lot of times with bullying, because bullying is huge. All schools, okay? All communities, it's not targeted by any particular community. We all deal with bullying, right? And, that's something that a bully is someone that don't care about what you think. They only care about what makes them feel good, right? And but you guys are doing the opposite, right? By sharing your thoughts and whatnot, and you guys are starting to learn more of an understanding of how other people may feel, right? Because a lot of times a bully don't care about what you feel, right? I'm gonna push you down or gossip, whatever it is, in that form of bullying, to make myself feel better, right? You guys are saying, no, I'm trying to put myself in your shoes, so I can better understand what you may be going through. Because I don't know about you, but I go through stuff. We all go through different things, right?
Yes.
So sometimes we all need a break, right? So it's important for us to what? Give each other a break sometimes, right? I may just be having a bad day, right? So we got to be careful that we're not ticking people off, and put yourself in their shoes, because we know how it feels. Have you guys ever been bullied before?
Yes.
Right? So how does it feel to be bullied?
It doesn't feel good. I would just like to put myself in their shoes to see what they're going on, because sometimes they be going through a lot at home and they just come to school and take it out on other people.
Right.
And that's not fun.
Right. So there can be more to that bullying. The person that is bullying, they could be being bullied. Or like you said, you got a lot of wisdom, man. They could be dealing with stuff at home, right? So that's why it's important. We got to ask ourselves, even if we're being bullied, of course, tell authorities, right? Tell teachers,
Right.
always. Let me make sure I mention that. But then also, sometimes put yourself in there. So why is it that they're doing what they're doing? Maybe we need to be friends with that bully. Befriend that bully, because sometimes bullies don't have friends, right?
Just to add on to that, like, I've never been bullied before, but like I've seen bullying like go back in 6th grade. Like I would see it all over the school. There was this autistic kid. He has a twin brother. They're both autistic, and this one day it was after lunch, and we was heading to Miss Carter's class, and then these group of boys, right? They came up to what's called one of the brothers, one of the autistic kid. They made him say what is 2 + 2? He said 4, right? And they told him to like show him with his fingers, because like the 4 is like a gang sign, they said. And like they took a picture, and like the whole school, like they will see it, and like if one person saw it, they will all start laughing. And like they would just keep doing it. They would just like make fun of the kid. And then they try to do it again. And then after that, he caught onto it, like what they were trying to do, because people would just come up to him, like show him the photo, like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing in this photo? Why are you throwing up gang signs? And like they try to do it again, and then he just walked away, and you can like see him. He was like trying to cry, but he wasn't crying. Like he was like he was hold back his tears, and like it would like bring my heart down and everything.
Yeah. So let me ask you guys, all three of you guys, what are you gonna do to help eliminate bullying at your school? What can you do? It could be simple.
Maybe instead of just watching it, like go tell a teacher or stand up for the person that's getting bullied.
Yeah, yeah. And it's okay to tell the teacher, right? We should be doing that anyways, right?
Or trying to be friends with the bully to see what they have going on, to see how we can help them, and how we can help them for them to not bully other people, like to mind their own business and like that.
Right. Okay.
Just like he said, like you can never know what the bully, if like the reason, like, there's other reasons why bully can be bullying, like, because they probably got bullied themselves, or, like, what's going on at home, or, like, one of their family members are sick, or, like, they recently died, and they're just taking it out on you. Like, just try to, like, calm down that bully, or if they're, like, if it's on a, like, different level, and, like, there's no reason behind that, they just want to bully you because, like, you're weak or you're small, like, try to tell a teacher, or, like, if I see it, I'll try to, like, stop and intervene and, like, make sure, like, he doesn't do it again or anything.
Okay. No, that's good.
I was going to say, in having bullies in my classroom, meaning, like, oftentimes I am given students who have really big behavior problems that no one else can deal with. And I take them babies I just love on. They don't even know what hit them. Right. And then I can't get them away from me. Kindness and love, like, really works. I love on the babies. And so, like, it's just incredible because when the administrator, somebody comes in and sees the difference in my room with, I'm going to tell you something. When we was writing letters, I had went out in the hallway to get some water to make some coffee. And one of these notorious bully people was in the hallway. And I'm like, where are you going? He's like, well, I want to come to your room. And I said, come on in. He came in and he was sitting there writing letters with all these kids. He wasn't even, quiet as a mouse and writing letters. Like, he took on the culture. Because, in the Carter community, do we bully?
No.
We don't bully, right? It's kindness all day long, okay? So, and love and kindness and respect and things like that. But he fell right into the culture, right into the atmosphere. And so, the kindness goes a long way.
It goes a long way. Yeah. And
you might not get it the first time. They might not catch on to you. They might not like you the first time. I know this practice that's called 2x10. There was a kid in my room. He would come in with his hood on. Not saying much to anybody, but for 10 days, I took 2 minutes, 10 days straight, 2 minutes to say hi to this individual. Switch. Like, all it takes is just being kind.
Yes.
It doesn't cost anything.
Right.
And your Do the Math program was the catalyst for that. Like, your Do the Math program fostered so much in my classroom, so much that they want me to push into 6th grade and do SEL, social emotional learning.
Yes.
I'm using your whole program.
Yes, let's do it.
Yes, I am. Yes. Yeah, we'll talk more about it. But yeah.
Stay tuned for that. But
yeah.
Hey, can I add on to that?
Absolutely.
It's not just like with humans. I had this, this is really funny. I had this pet chicken, right? Like, it was during the winter, and they would put him in the shed, but, like, the shed would have, like, little tiny holes, so it would be, like, really cold when you walk into the shed. And then the chicken, you would just sit inside there with no food, no water, no nothing. I'll, like, pick up the chicken and I'll take him inside. I'll give it some water. I'll give it some food, and then I'll probably try to go upstairs or downstairs. And that chicken, he will not leave me. Like he would just follow me everywhere.
Show
and then
some
after,
love, huh?
and like I was his owner.
Yeah.
And then I came back upstairs. I gave it more food, and it was just like, it just kept. I went to go watch TV with my little brother. It just, like, sat right here. It was
Right
just getting
there.
comfortable and everything. He's trying to go to sleep.
Yeah.
It was really funny.
But you show love, right? So say it's beyond humans, even for animals, right? That's important that you're doing that, showing everybody love. So let me just ask you guys, like, a side question. What are you guys doing fun this summer?
Nothing much. Probably have Orbegon fights with my friends, family, watch movies and all that.
Okay.
Oh, I'm gonna go swimming a lot.
Swimming,
yeah,
okay.
me and my cousin. It wasn't even that long ago. I think it was Saturday. Me and my cousin tried to go swimming, but the swimming pool was closed. But we searched up on Google to see if Birdland was open or not. Right? It said open, and then my brother took me to Birdland, and my cousin he just started, like, He was mad and everything. It was really funny.
So you ready, huh, Rihanna? What you got going on this summer?
My friends, me, Lanaya, Layla, and Kiana, we're probably going to be swimming. We're going to go to birthday parties.
Okay.
We're going to go to Ventureland. We're going to go to
You
the
be
fair.
clocking it down.
Okay.
We have a lot of things to do.
You got a lot of things to do.
You ready, huh? Come on. She's like, Miss Carter, what you got going on?
Miss Carter is going to be traveling.
Yes.
I'm so excited.
Yes.
I'm going to Indiana. I'm going to Arkansas. I'm going to St. Louis. I'm going to Destin. And I'm excited about putting my classroom together this year. I'm going to have a whole VIP section.
Okay.
Yes,
Good.
I'm excited.
Okay, good.
What do you got to do this summer?
That's a good question. Well, I have a 1-year-old, so we're going to hang out with him. We're going to go up to Seattle. We're going to take him on his first flight.
Okay.
So that's a little nervous.
He'll do fine.
Hopefully, he won't be crying too much on the plane. But, we're going to take him there and a few other places. So it's just a visit family. And then I'll be doing things in the community in Des Moines and other surrounding cities. So, that's my time to kind of share with different organizations what I do. But I'm going to end this with one question that Kelly already know the question, but it's a fun question. But so you guys know the math equations, right? Add,
Yes.
subtract, multiply, right? So, and I'm going to surprise you guys with this question, but what is something that you can add? What is something you can subtract and you can multiply? And by doing that, that equals to what?
I'll go first.
Okay.
You ready? Okay, come on.
Like, we can subtract bullying.
So give me an add, give me a subtract, give me a multiply, and then by doing that, it equals to what?
So you're going to add?
Add, subtract, multiply, and equal.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. We're going first. We subtract bullying.
No,
Okay.
you got to add first.
Add first.
Okay, add.
Okay.
We're going to add love in the world.
Add
You
love,
want-
y'all. Add love.
Mhm.
Okay.
And then what's next?
Subtract.
Yeah.
Subtract.
And then subtract bullying.
Okay.
And then multiply, right?
Yep.
And then I'm gonna do something even better.
Multiply
We're gonna
what?
multiply Miss Carter because it's gonna be even better.
Multiply what?
Multiply Miss
Miss
Carter.
Carter's? Okay, have
They
some
want
little
more-
clones.
they want more Miss Carters in the world.
out
I'll
there.
take that. That's a compliment.
Okay, so that
Okay.
would equal to what?
Like, what do you call it? Peace.
Oh,
peace.
okay.
More peace in the schools.
Okay.
Okay, Rihanna, what you thinking? Give me a math equation.
I'm going to add happiness, take away depression,
All right.
times joy, and equal happy kids.
Come
Come
on, girl.
on. Okay.
All right. Remember, I need to write
Yeah,
that down.
okay. You know,
I'm not-
sometimes it takes adults a while to think about this, and y'all just kind of know. Okay, go ahead.
I'm gonna add more kindness, peace, and I'm gonna subtract what he said. I'm gonna subtract bullying, and and that equals to like people being loved, like more love.
More love, right?
Yeah.
So that is something that we got to make sure we're subtracting, right? We're adding, but we're also taking away something, right? So even though, like you said, you mentioned you've never bullied, but you've seen somebody being bullied. So that's almost just as much as you're bullying someone because you was there, you didn't do anything about it, right? I'm not saying you did, but just, so even though you see bullying, you don't bully. If you see bullying, you got to make sure you step up and you speak up and you say something, okay? You gonna say something? Okay. Math equation for the end of the school year.
Okay.
Your next
I'm
chapter.
going to add more positive affirmations.
Okay.
I'm going to subtract negative thinking.
Negative thinking.
And I'm going to multiply joy and peace,
Joy and peace.
which will equal more self-love.
More self-love.
Yes.
Okay.
Gonna work on myself.
More self-love.
Yeah, because I
that's
give so
important.
much out. So
Yeah,
I
you
gotta
guys
be
focus on
replenished.
more self-love too, right? You got to love yourself, right? Okay. So we're going to end this with this. I want you guys to give some word of advice to students for the summer. Anything you can just share with me. What's some words of advice that, because students are going to be listening to this as well, watching this as well as parents. What's some words of advice you would give the student?
like keep being yourself and still be kind to people outside school, not even in school. Like just spread the love around everywhere, not just inside school.
All right, he said
Oh,
spread
we
the
gotta do
love.
this.
That's
Come
my,
on.
that's my, you know, that's my tag.
Come
Spread
on,
the
okay.
love. Okay.
All right. Another piece of advice is keep your head up. Like let's say you have a soccer game this summer, right? And you lose, still keep your head up. You can do better next time.
You can do better.
Yeah, and you can always be the best.
All
Come
right.
on. I like it.
Okay.
That might have to be a real right there, Hanky. I don't know. Go ahead, Rihanna.
Well, for our generation, I'm going to say, like, during the summertime, don't fight, don't try to be ignorant, and don't be mean.
Don't be
Okay.
mean. Okay, yeah. Miss Carter.
You know, spread the love.
Yeah.
We need more love in this world. It doesn't cost anything to just give a smile or hold a door or just spread the love.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
my thing. You know, I just feel like I've just been created to love people. I can't help it. I just love everybody.
Yeah.
You know, and
Just like that do the math heart right there.
Yes, that's right. So yeah, just spread the love.
Spread the love.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, I definitely thank you guys, all three of you, as well as Miss Carter, for being on the show. And more, you know, more than that is what you guys are doing in the classroom, right? Me and Miss Carter, we do talk, and you guys are excelling. You know, you're killing it with reading, character building. You guys are leaders. You make sure that you always visualize yourself as being leaders, right? You know, don't be a follower. Make sure you're being a leader. And you know what? And, you know, you're doing a great job, period.
Period.
Period. You guys are doing a great job. Keep doing what you're doing. Rihanna, you've had a few videos doing different things with Do the Math, and you're growing,
Yep.
you know. Keep doing what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all you guys keep doing what you're doing. And the sky's the limit. You know, mentally
Yes.
prepare for next school year. Know,
Yes.
like you said, high school's coming up. And just know that whatever you guys want to do, you can do in life, you know.
Yes.
And don't wait. Come on. Start doing that now. If there's something that
Yes.
you guys want to focus on as far as maybe an interest in a career or something that may, you know, that may just spark your interest in general, focus on that now. Don't wait, right? Learn that now. You feel like, I think you want to say something. Go ahead.
Mhm. Like, as you said, like, don't do it now. I've been, like, do you know David Goggins?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been inspired by him a lot.
Okay.
Like, this one time, he said, it was a video, he said, don't say that you're going to do it in the next 4 days or something. It will be like, you're not putting in the hard work. 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 But then, in those 4 days, someone else put in the hard work.
Come
Someone
on.
else
I
put in
like
the hard
that.
work.
Come on. Yeah,
Someone else
right?
put in the hard work.
Right.
So it's like he's saying like what your mind, like what you want to do in life, you gotta like put some hard work into that. Don't just like think that you're all natural talent. I mean, there is some people who are like all natural talent, but like if you really want to get there, you can like you actually have to put in the hard work and
You got
everything.
to put in the time.
You can grow your mind, growth
Grow your mind.
mindset.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Right. And that comes in all aspects of life. Right. You know, I'm not even going to end with the words of wisdom. You already said it right there, so I'm good. I'm going to go ahead and just close this out. Thank you all again for tuning in for Do the Math 24/7's Math Talk. You reach us on Instagram at Do the Math 24/7, Facebook at Do the Math 24/7, LinkedIn. Kenny Lilly, last name Lilly, Lilly. Miss Carter, she would definitely be posting stuff. And be on the lookout for next year. We're going to definitely keep this going. And I'm going to hear more from you guys, more progress, see what's going on.
Follow me on TikTok
yes.
at teacher_love2245.
Yes.
Yes.
And then we'll definitely be sharing more information next school year as far as what's going on in the Carter community. So
Yes.
we're going to end with this. Let's go ahead and give Miss Carter a hand clap
thank
for
you.
all that she's doing.
I love you guys. You know I do.
And just your passion, your heart, and and she talks about you guys all the time. Trust me, okay? She really cares about you guys.
And thank you.
So
Thank you for believing in us.
yes, definitely. Shout out to Hiatt Middle School. Shout out to
Yes.
Mr. Joe, incredible principal. Definitely a great, genuine guy. I appreciate you, Mr. Joe, just allowing us to do this. Always supporting what Miss Carter's doing. And thank you again for Hiatt Middle School supporting Do the Math 24/7. I'm going to end it with this. Thank you guys. Have a great summer. And remember, Do the Math 24/7. Bye.
Bye.
Say peace out.